9:10 left before half. You're looking at Joe Danello, who just kicked the field goal. He will be kicking off, and young Joe Hayes is back to return. A 10-7 ball game. Walter Payton's within 17 yards of that rushing record, and we're going to swing you right to Chicago as soon as that happens. Hayes takes it 2 yards deep in the end zone and stacked up at the 18-yard line. Good coverage. Brian Carpenter down very quickly for that one.
Look at that Buffalo scoring drive where they ended up getting the 3 points there. 18 plays. They had the ball for 18 plays. The key play, of course, was that roughing the kicker call when they got the ball back from the Eagles to keep that drive going.
It took them 4 plays to get 3 inches. That's good defense.
But
good
they've been out there a long time.
That's right. Don't forget, Walter Payton needs 17 yards to become the all-time rushing leader. I hope he gets it this week. 1st and 10. Jaworski, hometown boy, back to destroy this team. A screen play out to the side. That's Wilbert Montgomery. Wilbert ridden out of bounds at the 27-yard.
Well, they did a good job closing on that.
An 8-yard pickup. The play looked like it was going to go for more. Minnesota now tied by Tampa Bay, 14-all. McKay's offense warming up. 2nd down and 2. Ball is on the 26. Wilbert Montgomery gets rid of 2 people and tries to get to the 30-yard line. Haslett hanging on there. You know, he has over a 4-yard average. They just haven't been able to give him the ball very much this year. Washington and the Colts, 7-7. Wonder if Theismann's talking yet. Detroit now on the scoreboard. Denver leading 14-7. Boy, Gary Danielson's having some year.
The Lions have played a lot of close games. They've lost, I think, 4 games by a total of 11 points.
Cleveland 6, New England 3. That's an 8th inning score, I'm sure. 1st and 10. On the 30-yard line. Inside drive play. That's Oliver. Not much. Young offensive line. There are only 15 players on this Eagles team that were on the 80 team that went to the Super Bowl under Dick Vermeil. Only 15 players left. So you can see that Marion Campbell is retooling. And boy, he's got young receivers like Quick and Kenny Jackson. It's going to be a very good offensive ball club very, very shortly. There's the Fox.
And got to keep in mind that the Rated is playing the #1 toughest schedule in the National Football League this year.
2nd down and 5. Jaworski with a lot of time. Now he's being chased out and dumps it in the flat to Spagnola. The tight end has it at about the 34-yard line. Let's see if they stop the clock or if it's continuing to run. It's running. A little over 7 minutes left before halftime.
Jaworski here with his maneuverability, getting some pressure. The pocket starts to fold on him. 77. Ben Williams comes in and Giles throws it on the drop. And Spagnola makes a good catch over there low. It looked for a minute like it bounced in, but he did come up with it.
He's a Yaley too. We got a lot of Ivy Leaguers running around out here. There's the clock here at Rich Stadium. Jaworski is 10 of 11. 99 yards and a touchdown and 1 penalty. 3rd down. Call it 6. Jaworski quickly back. Good throw. Wilbert Montgomery has it. Fumbles it at the 40-yard line of Buffalo.
I think they're going to call it incomplete because they don't think that Wilbert had it long enough in his control.
He seemed to turn around and lose his balance a little bit.
Strange looking play, wasn't it?
Especially for Wilbert.
Jaworski found the right man. Wilbert was wide open here. Over the linebackers, good touch on the ball. Doesn't have control of it. Bounces on the ground and then is kicked. And that Mike Quick had it and thought he had something, then he lost it.
I guarantee you, I'll bet you Wilbert Montgomery has never dropped that kind of a pass before. From Greenville, Mississippi, all the way up. To Abilene Christian. Horan back to kick, the left footer. Remember, his first one was a 17-yard fizzler. Ooh, this is a hang time. This is a big punch. Wilson at the 25. Wilson still on his feet. Flags are down. Wilson with good run back potential gets to the 39-yard line. A lot of second effort there, and people are shoving each other around again. Flag usually means somebody was clipped underneath the punt return. illegal block. 41-yard punt. That's from the line of scrimmage, so you can add 15 to that. And a 14-yard return.
Illegal block from behind. Number 58 receiving team during the return. 1st and 10.
What do you think the percentage is of those illegal blocks on a punt?
99%.
I think so.
It's 10-7.
Pontiac.
It's brand new. It's from Pontiac, and it's called Grand Am. The latest in Pontiac road car technology, Grand Am is a true driver's coupe. That means it's built for drivers who appreciate engineering excellence as well as exciting road machinery. You know who you are. Grand Am, new from Pontiac, only from Pontiac.
We build excitement.
Pontiac.
Who has taken complete control and placed it at your fingertips? RCA, with an amazing VCR that asks you what you want to record and when, in simple language, right on the screen of your TV. So, what you select on screen with this advanced remote control, you'll get on videotape. The world's first remote programmable VCR, only from RCA, technology that excites the senses.
Made in America? Are you kidding? Need a lawyer? Says who? Was she really part of a murder plot? 60 Minutes, Sunday.
Called the Buffalo Jills up here, but they're really attractive, nice young people. 0-5. You got to play harder than that to impress these beauties.
They don't dress like that in December here, though. I guarantee you.
They got ski parkers on. Here's Bell going to the outside. And the Eagles have been tough against the run. Kenny Clark coming out from the nose position along with Bigfoot Harrison. I'll tell you, they have stopped that rushing game except for that one burst when Bell scored the touchdown. It's funny how the larger, bigger players are really the nicest some way, you know, in their dispositions. Thank heavens for that. But a guy like Bigfoot Harrison is really a nice person. The little guys like cornerbacks cause most of the fights. It's 2nd down and 9 on the 22-yard line. Dufek keeping the backs in. Reggie Wilkes has him for a sack back on the 10-yard line. Looked like Bell was supposed to pick up the linebacker and let him go right on by. Clark in there too.
Tom's been telling you that number 71, Ken Clark, been having a good year for the Eagles. Maria Campbell calls him one of his smartest players, real intense guy, who has, I think, been a pleasant surprise for the Eagles since they lost Charlie Johnson, who went to Minnesota, and people thought that'd be a tough job for anybody to step in and take that guy's place, but Clark has been splendid for us.
Good point. 3rd down and 18 to go. Back on the 13. Shotgun. Dufek spiked up in the air and almost intercepted. I believe that was young Struthers.
Dufek is hurt.
Struthers spiked it and almost caught it on the 2nd bounce. Dufek is limping as he comes off. AstroTurf is very unforgiving, isn't it?
Good pressure that time by the Philadelphia defense. Good penetration.
As Ferguson
is in anguish.
Is Ferguson in good enough shape to be able to play on that bad ankle that the veteran has?
No, I don't think so. I mean, he hasn't taken a snap all week. You'd have to go to Matt Kofler.
John Kidd, the rookie, punting. This is a tremendous punt. Back to the 40-yard line is Cooper. Cooper gets it to the 47. Good coverage and a tremendous punt by young Kidd. The quarterback is hurt. It's 10-7.
Dufek was 4 for 18. Jeez, I didn't even believe it was that bad. No, I mean passing. I think.
Pontiac.
The editors of Road and Track call the Pontiac 6000 STE one of the world's 12 best enthusiast cars. Car and Driver called the Pontiac 6000 STE one of the 10 best cars of 1984. So why did we make it even better for 1985? Just because. The sensational 6000. Only from Pontiac.
We build excitement.
Pontiac.
When you open a can of Colt 45, you'll get more than smooth, mellow, cool malt liquor.
You'll take a ride on the wild side with the dynamite taste of Colt 45. Grab onto a Colt and hold on for the ride. You'll take a ride on the wild side with the dynamite taste of Colt 45. You'll take a ride on the wild side with the dynamite taste of Colt 45.
Good Lord, didn't think we were going to be playing football. Knees are not the best things to
No,
have.
that's Joe Dufek, and they're looking in the knee area. Here's how he got it. Greg Brown comes up the middle on a stunt, and he kind of stumbles loose and goes down, and he hits Dufek's knee as he's going down. The ball was tipped. Yes, it was. Number 98, Greg Brown. And you see Dufek back there in pain, and we'll get the word on him as soon as we can for you.
Eagles, meanwhile, have good field position at the 46-yard line. Jaworski having a good day, going outside. Number 81 has it. Kenny Jackson diving out of bounds. They're going to call it a good catch. And the young rookie went in the right direction. He went into the Eagles bench. 17-yarder.
Good throw again. We told you that Jaworski told us yesterday how much he enjoys working with young Kenny Jackson. He said the kid will stay out and work for hours and hours with you if you want to, and they're starting to connect up. Does a good job staying in bounds here. Concentrated on the ball, dragging those knees down. It was a good call.
Jaworski's getting very good protection. That time he really could squeeze off the round when he wanted to. Into Buffalo territory at the 36. Jaworski quickly back. Tries to dump it out in the flat to Montgomery, and Kenny Johnson batted it away.
You don't have to get a sack to cause problems for the quarterback. Kenny Johnson's about 6'6", and he just gets good penetration from the right side here. He's number 91. Go as far as he can and then get those hands up, and there's the deflection.
Jaworski told us yesterday that Mike Quick is receiving so much double coverage that he's got to look for other people because number 82 has at least two people with him at all times. Second down and 10. Jaworski 11 of 14 and the touchdown pass. Almost 5 minutes left before the halftime. The blitz is on. Good blocking. Jaworski finds Spagnola to the 25-yard line. Boy, that time the Eagles' offensive line stacked them up.
Sure did. They did a good job for him. They kept anybody from getting any penetration at all. No one in his face. And Spagnola there went down and just ran an option on the linebacker. Made a turn, found a spot in the zone, and sat down right in it. Look at him, number 88. And Jaworski right on time with it.
Buffalo defensive linemen look like they're all standing up. You know, nobody's on the ground. First and 10 for the Eagles. They trail 10-7. Right now they're on the Buffalo 25. Look at Schmerlis. He and Bennett are as close as you can possibly get. Inside drive. Montgomery cutting back. Wilbert Montgomery inside the 20 to the 17. And losing his helmet.
Just an instinctive run by Montgomery. There's Joe Dufek. And we mentioned if he doesn't look like he's going to be able to go. He really doesn't. You can see the disappointment and the frustration on his face. And it's Joe Ferguson, but we don't think he'll go. He didn't practice all week. And Ferguson might be able to play, but he's got a sprained right ankle. If it was his left ankle, not the one that he didn't set up on, he might be able to go. But that is Matt Kofler, the backup quarterback, and he'll be the one that'll go.
We'll take a look at him in just a moment. Right now, the Eagles are on a drive. Hubie Oliver, the fullback, getting it to the 15. Trying to cross up the defense, figuring they were keen on Wilbert Montgomery. Haslett in there, plugging it up. Montgomery was a sixth-round draft choice back in '77. They got Wilbert out of the draft out of Abilene Christian. He had sort of an injury problem in college.
Yeah, how's a guy, but he scored a ton of touchdowns. There's 76 touchdowns in college. How's a guy like that wait till the 6th round before anybody picks him?
It's amazing. Mark Nordquist was the guard traded to Chicago to get that choice, one of the greatest ever. First down by the tip of the pigskin. Nine yards left for Walter Payton to become the all-time NFL rushing leader, and we're going to take you there so that you can see him presented with the ball. Like Roger Maris hitting his 61 home runs that time. It's a moment that you want to be a part of, and we at CBS want you to certainly be there. First and 10. 3 minutes left, just under 3 left before half. Inside handoff, number 32, Michael Williams. About a yard and a half gain, and one of the strangest calls I've ever seen. I got a horse like Wilbert Montgomery and bring somebody cold in off the bench. Haslett making another tackle. Michael Williams is a 225-pounder, 6'2". The crowd is applauding the young quarterback from Yale who is taking the cart into the dressing room. Jaworski, meanwhile, back to throw. He's waving around, throwing the end zone, and just overthrows Kenny Jackson at the back part of the end zone. There's Dufek.
Left knee, of course, for Dufek, as you saw, and they'll probably get him down in there at halftime and examine it closer, maybe x-ray it, and we'll get better word on what it is. But obvious disappointment for him. I kind of hate to see the kid go down, too. You know, you never know when you're in on one of these stories, like a Johnny Unitas story, a guy gets to play, and it's always makes it kind of interesting, I think.
The toughest critics in the world, they just gave him a standing ovation. The people that pay the money to watch you play, they appreciate this young man. Meanwhile, the veteran from Lackawanna, New York, is under the center, and it's third down and 7. Jaworski, a strike. Spagnola is being hammered at the 7-yard line by at least 3 different people.
Maybe short, maybe just a touch short, too, and Marion Campbell will have a decision on 4th down. Let's see where they spot it. Spagnola may not have had enough to pick up the first down. Boy, this is a...
Looked like he didn't quite get to the line. He had to get to the 5-yard line.
But Randy Newman's sunshine can do strange...
Just short of it, it appears to us. Stick around. This baby's going to get close.
Some things look hard, but once you know the secret, they're easy.
It's easy.
Some people think financing a new car is hard, but it isn't. It's easy.
It's as easy as GMAC.
With GMAC, buying or leasing a new GM car or truck is easy. Ask your GM dealer and see how easy it is. Financing a new car may seem hard, but once you know the secret...
It's as easy as GMAC.
It's easy.
Gentleman from Ralph's Computerama.
Thank you, nurse. Hi, men. Have I got a surprise for you? The NCR personal computer.
NCR makes a personal computer?
Uh-huh. Look at those graphics. Surprised?
Not particularly.
NCR has been in computers for over 30 years.
Would you expect it to network with your other computers, Mr. Know-It-All?
We'll take 6. No, 8.
8?
Isn't that what you expected?
8's nice.
A better computer. It's exactly what you'd expect from NCR.
Tuesday.
How does the defendant plead to these charges?
Innocent of everything. A surprise witness from the 4077 puts the screws to Klinger.
Hello, fruitcake.
After match.
2 minutes before halftime. Marion Campbell, Jaworski, Ted Marcia-Broda, the offensive coordinator, former head coach in Baltimore, and a very good one. And they've got Wilbert Montgomery back in there, which the old fox knows. You go with your best.
They got a 4th down situation with about 2 or 3 inches to go, so this is a huge play on both sides of the football right now.
Get some good wide splits and let him pick the crack. Spagnola and Cab, 2 tight ends are in there. This is the big play of the first half right here, folks.
Charles doesn't like what he saw.
Good time to burn it. Touchdowns are more important than timeouts. My coach always used to save them. 10-7.
It's called Grand Am.
Grand Am.
It's a true driver's coupe, and it's all new.
Grand Am.
But better than that, it's from Pontiac.
Grand Am.
And you know what that means.
We build excitement.
Sears National Hardware Sale. Save $7 on Easy Living matte flat paint. Now $8.97 a gallon. They are lowest price of the year for a half-horsepower garage door opener. And save on these Sears Best lavatory and kitchen faucets. Now half price, just $29.99. You'll find more tough hardware at hard-to-beat prices right now at the National Hardware Sale.
There's more for your life at Sears.
Stevenson, team is 0-5. You think he doesn't need a victory at home? Young head coach in a very tough situation right now. Inches to go, 4th down. Spagnola in motion. Handoff. Wilbert over the top. Looks like he has it. He made the line.
Pretty good effort there, huh?
Couple of tons there.
Boy, that's called giving your body up.
They didn't even let him come down on the ground. He needed about 3 inches. And that's about what he got.
He just launched himself like a human cannonball here. He come flying out of the cannon at the circus across there and take some shots, but got the necessary inches. And the Eagles are in business just inside the 5, 1st down.
Marion Campbell checking with Marcia Broda, Oliver and Montgomery in there. The Eagles trail 10-7. The handoff outside Oliver. He stacked up at the 5-yard line. Good defense. Linebackers came from nowhere. That was Sanford. He used to be a teammate with Reggie Wilkes down at Georgia Tech. Can't believe that anybody beat Georgia Tech when they were both there playing defense together.
A good team defense here. Stopped it outside and gets help inside.
Chuck Knox had a pretty good ball club up here for a few years, didn't he? Had him in the playoffs. Whoa. Now Stevenson is trying to bring them back. They were 8-8 a year ago, but they're 0-5 now. 2nd and goal. Jaworski, touchdown. Vito Cab, the 240-pound tight end from Penn State.
Boy, Jaws had it all the way, didn't he? They had that play, and it went right to him. Didn't look anywhere else off the play action, and there it was. They saw something in the films during the week. Vito Cab probably blocked down for about a second or so, and then won on out in the pattern, and he was completely lost to the Buffalo secondary.
Ron's mother, Mildred Jaworski, is here with the family from Lackawanna. Great thing for a guy to come back to his hometown and do well. Here's the hole by Jaworski, the kick by McFadden. Well, this young guy has a nice kicking motion. It's 14-10. There are 49 seconds left. Walter Payton, I bet he's getting close to that record.
Giving that extra effort makes winners. Be all you can be. Sponsored by the U.S. Army. There are few NFL players who excel at all aspects of the game like the Los Angeles Rams' Nolan Cromwell. Number 21 is a rarity. A man who doubles as both all-pro pass defender and spectacular special teams performer. By matching his versatility with a second effort that has seen him score 3 touchdowns in his career from fake field goals, Nolan Cromwell is the best he can be.
In today's Army, when artillery goes to the field, so does high technology.
Be all that you can be. Keep on reaching. Keep on growing.
Computers, laser-guided missiles, and teamwork honed to a split-second response. Only the Army gives you this kind of training with just a 2-year enlistment.
You can do it in the Army.
The touchdown pass, Jaworski to Vito Cab. The play action will hold the linebackers. Watch number 54. He can't go anywhere until he sees what's happened. And also throws number 21, Don Wilson, and Cab was wide open.
McFadden's kick taken by Wilson at the 2, and Wilson makes a good return out to the 25, where he goes out of bounds and stops the clock. Now, what a tough place for a young quarterback named Matt Kofler to come in. To come in replacing somebody else with the last few seconds left. 54 yards in 11 plays.
Not only that, Brookie, but you got to consider, since they were working so extra hard with Joe Dufek this week around here in Buffalo, Koffler probably took less snaps during the week than he would in a normal situation. Koffler's had more experience than Dufek, though. He's been the backup quarterback for Ferguson the past couple of years and played a lot in the preseason this year. But at the end of a couple games this season, they brought him in. He didn't do well, and that's why Dufek passed him up. So he's really had more experience than Dufek, but not enough work this week probably to be in the situation he's in now.
Well, Ferguson, though, started 107 straight games, so he's never started a game, that's for sure. Here's the handoff to Bell. That's a good way to get the adrenaline settled down in your stomach. Bell out to the 31-yard line, may have fumbled the football. Eagles are a little bit ravenous. They're going after that ball on defense.
They got it.
They got it. Let's see who came up with it. Andre Waters, I believe. Billy Friel, is that Andre Waters came up with it? Big recovery. Not the quarterback's fault, however.
The handoff here to Bell. Now, it's just good hustle by the defense. Watch all those green shirts over here now as this guy turns upfield and people putting shots on him and punching out at that ball, and it gets loose.
Darby caused it, and Waters came up with it. It didn't look like Bell was trying to lug this very earnestly. Did you think it looked like he's thinking the half's over or something?
Jerry Robinson in there too and had a hand in it.
Big opportunity, and Jaworski is red hot. They're in the Eagles shotgun right now. 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line of Buffalo. Jaworski screening to Wilbert Montgomery, who's got a blocker out there. Well played by the linebacker, number 56, Talley, who really played off the blocker and kept Wilbert maybe from getting a touchdown.
Talked early how tough a play that is for a linebacker, but Talley's got the physical attributes to make this play. He can reach over blockers. As I said, he's about 6'5". Watch him play the block off right here. Keep his feet, and with his reach, haul Wilbert in. That's an excellent play.
Baker had a pretty good block on him, too. He just stayed with it, didn't he, that linebacker? Linebacker's toughest job, and Talley pulled it off. 2nd down and 4 on the 22. Shotgun. Jaworski doesn't particularly like the shotgun. He likes this one. That's Woodruff coming across the middle, trying to get out of bounds inside the 20 to the 18. Tackled there by number 22. That's Steve Freeman. Jaworski's having a pretty good throwing day, isn't he?
He is.
16 seconds left. Number 7 goes to the sidelines, and the Eagles are leading.
This is a United Way Hearing and Speech Center in the Philadelphia area. It's just one of 177 centers like it that are supported by the United Way across the country. I'm John Spagnuolo of the Philadelphia Eagles. My love affair with these children started when I visited this agency as a United Way volunteer. I want to tell you about just one child. Her name is Julie. In 1971, she heard sound for the first time in an agency just like this. But that wasn't the end of her story. Today, she's a track star winning medals, and she has a dream to someday be running for the gold as an Olympic hopeful.
Julie Barty!
And now I'd like you to meet Julie. Here she communicates as a United Way volunteer, helping children who face the same challenges she faced. With your help, I know they're going to make it. So thanks, because thanks to you, it works for all of us. The United Way. I love you.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
Local boy makes good, but in the wrong uniform.
Yeah, look how good he's making, too. 16 out of 20, 148 yards and 2 touchdowns, so he's hot. Remember we talked at the top of the show, he said, if I get some time today, I'm going to be tough on this team.
He was very candid.
He has been, yes he has. He thought he could do something with the Buffalo defense, and he has.
Jackson, Woodruff, and Quick, 3 very, very fast receivers in there, and it's Eagle shotgun time. 1st and 10 on the 18. 16 seconds left. Jaworski going up. Jackson has it knocked away in the end zone. Brian Carpenter covering very well.
Excellent job of coverage back there, and Josh kind of threw that one up, just hoping Kenny Jackson would out-jump him. It didn't work out. Brian Carpenter is number 30. We got him for used to be with the Washington Redskins, and the Bills picked him up this year. He's in good shape here on Jackson. Playing the ball with his head and eyes perfectly, goes up, and he almost looked like he was the intended receiver.
Looks like the Redskins could use him right now. Good secondary play by Brian Carpenter. Campbell on the right of your screen. The kicker, the barefooted one. He's a trustworthy kicker. That's the way Marion Campbell talks about young McFadden. 2nd down and 10. 11 seconds on the clock. 10. Jaworski threw that one away. A waste pitch. Tony Woodruff, the intended receiver, and Rome's in good shape. And here comes McFadden.
10-12 McFadden is for the season.
He's got a nice smooth stroke. 12th round draft choice.
He's from the Jaworski school too, isn't he? Youngstown?
Youngstown State.
What's their name? The Penguins or something like that?
I think that's it. They wear tuxedos. Jaworski holding. 2 very fine alumnus from that school. Jaworski hold is down. It's good. They're carried by a lot. So the Eagles take the recovered fumble and turn it into 3 points. Very quickly now, they've scored 10 unanswered points.
They've scored 10 points in 47 seconds.
You know, they always say that players win games and coaches lose them, but I don't believe that. I think that Marion Campbell is an excellent administrator. And if people think he's just sort of a lazy, drawling old guy, they're wrong. The players really respect him very much.
Well, you know, and they do. They were talking yesterday, you know, this is terrible for us. We're 1-4, but we know that Marion has empathy for us. We know that he knows that we're trying. We've been practicing hard. We've been playing hard. He knows that. Fred Bruni, the entire staff, knows it. And I just hope that the players have some empathy back for the coaching staff.
That's right. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, scores and highlights with Britt Nerr from the studio back in New York. And Britt looks back at the Giants-Rams game, which they call the wacky game of last week, the Giants and the Rams. That's when the Giants suffered 3 safeties, I think, and probably the record will hold in the NFL for quite some time. That one. McFadden now kicking off. He squibs this one, taken at the 35-yard line by number 27, Greg White. And that may be the last play of the first half. And the Eagles move a notch up toward getting that 2nd win of the year. Marion Campbell says it's going just about like he and Bruni have figured it would. How much can you do at halftime when your quarterback, I'm talking about Stevenson now, will have to look the situation over and go with Kofler, huh?
No question. I think that they're probably going to have a crash course. They'll have Matt Kofler in there cramming like mad at halftime, going over adjustments. It'd be like taking a college exam for him out here in the second half. But like, I really don't think that we talked to Case Stevenson on Friday and said, would you go to Joe Ferguson at all if something would happen to Dufek? And he said, really under no circumstances do I think I would, because he's just not going to be healthy, and why risk him for one more game when you can have him the rest of the year?
That's the end of the first half. It's 17-10.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Pontiac. Cars built with a feel for the road. Pontiac, we build excitement. Sears, where you'll find great values. There's more for your life at Sears. And by the people of AT&T Communications.
All these years without an accident. There go my insurance rates.
Not if you were with Liberty Mutual for 5 years.
What?
Yeah, with Liberty Mutual's Safe Driver Insurance Plan, you drive safely for 5 years, you get a second chance.
If I'd only done that, I wouldn't have to pay extra. I'd be in clover.
Would you believe, smelling like a rose?
For a real value in auto insurance, Liberty Mutual is going to be there for you.
Hey, Harry Gant, what's it like driving the Skull Bandit?
It ain't easy. Even in practice.
What's it like using Skull Bandits?
That's real easy.
Skull Bandits is tobacco in a neat little pouch. You don't chew it. Just put one between your cheek and gum and enjoy the refreshing taste. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing.
It's that easy.
Try Skull Bandits. We think you'll agree. It's a little pouch of pleasure.
75 years ago, if you wanted to hold a reunion for all those Americans who have survived cancer, you could have held it in a hotel. 40 years ago, all the Americans who survived cancer would have needed a coliseum for their reunion. But today, if you wanted to hold a reunion for all those Americans who survived cancer, you'd need a city the size of Los Angeles. Please support the American Cancer Society. The battle isn't over, but we are winning.
Football is in the air this fall on CBS Sports. Next Saturday, the best college football continues. You'll see Jack Trudeau and Illinois take on Heisman candidate Keith Byers and second-ranked Ohio State, or number 3 Washington against Stanford. Next Sunday, kick off with the NFL Today. Irv Cross will visit with the Cowboys' Danny White. Then sit back for a doubleheader featuring the Dallas Cowboys against the Washington Redskins. When you look for champions, you look to CBS Sports.
The old radio comedian Fred Allen, he once observed that the U.S. continent tilts and everything that isn't nailed in place slides to Southern California. Now, Californians don't agree with that, of course, but let's face it. As we saw again last week when the Rams played the Giants, strange things do happen out there in the land of sunshine.
Everybody very happy, 'cause the sun is shining all the time. It's like another perfect day. I love L.A.
But Randy Newman's sunshine can do strange things in the land of Southern California. A.J. Jones forgets that this is a free ball. Touchdown, Giants.
Them letting us take the opening kickoff for a touchdown, I thought it was going to be our day because of that.
But it was hardly the Giants' day. Bill Sims had to eat the ball in the end zone for a safety. 1 of 3 scored against the Giants in the third quarter, an NFL record.
I hate L.A.
The New York kicker, Ali Haji Sheikh, he had a bad day. 2 missed extra points and a missed field goal. What do you think of L.A.?
I hate it.
For Ivory Sully, who blocked this punt, well, nothing was going wrong for him.
What can I say except for it was another perfect day in L.A.
When it's your team, you think it's skill. When it's the other guy, you think it's luck.
Talk about the ultimate home field advantage. Have the goalpost tilt.
It wasn't in the script. It wasn't supposed to happen, but I'd say 1,000,000 to 1.
But what did happen to those goalposts? Why did they tilt? To find out, we rounded up the usual L.A. suspects. You start at Caltech, where they measure earthquakes. Were they the culprits?
We did not record any earthquakes on Sunday afternoon that could have caused damage in the LA area, including knocking over a goalpost.
Well, then if it's not the earthquakes, it has to be the Los Angeles smog.
Smog was not a problem. Smog could not have knocked over the goalpost.
Then what did happen? Why did these goalposts suddenly collapse in Anaheim?
The goalpost went down when the net caught on the east end of the goalpost, and the fellow holding the rope there yanked on it, and the post went down on the east side.
The Falcons now are very uneasy about going into Anaheim. They have never beaten the Rams out west.
I don't like to go out there.
I love L.A.
We love it!
Irv, you played out there. How'd you like the sunshine with the Rams?
We loved it. I tell you, we love to get cold weather teams out there in December, particularly Green Bay.
Fred Allen also said that it was a great climate if you were an Orange. Send you back now to the stadium and the game you're enjoying here on CBS.
Well, with me up here at Rich Stadium at halftime, the Eagles lead 17-10. An old friend of mine and certainly of pro football, Commissioner Pete Rozelle. Peter, you were in for the old-timers banquet here in Buffalo last night?
I get a kick out of that. As I do, reflecting back to 1960, my first year as commissioner. I think you were around Franklin Field in those days doing a pretty good job.
Well, the thing that we want to talk about a little bit is that a lot of people are saying that the TV ratings are down and all, but we find that the entertaining football teams, the numbers are incredible. For the 49ers or like the Eagles, that they'll have the biggest share of the audience. Don't you think it's holding on?
Oh, I think so. There's really a very narrow decrease over last year. And when we get through that round ball game and get a little colder weather, I think they'll pick up quite a bit because we're going to have some great divisional races.
Well, and Walter Payton is not only with a team that can't go anywhere, the Bears look like they could be a big force in this league.
That's what makes the likelihood of him breaking Jim Brown's record all the more remarkable, considering that the Bears haven't done that well as a team while Walter's been with them.
You know, we should say this, Commissioner, through the toughest times when the league was exploding in all different directions, you had the toughest of all the jobs, and I think you really handled it very well, and we're really proud of the National Football League.
Well, thanks, Tom. Not like a player. You get peaks and valleys, and you really enjoy those peaks and have to make them compensate for the valleys.
Well, it's amazing. Here we have two teams that are supposed to be losing teams, at least in the press you read that, and yet it's an entertaining football game, and I think a very, very excellently played one.
It is. I think we better finish this interview before O.J. Simpson is introduced. Driving around the field, this crowd will go crazy.
Commissioner, thank you very much. We appreciate your coming by. Commissioner Pete Rozelle, let's go back to you, Wayne.
All right, Tommy, and we'll be right back to Rich Stadium after this word from your local stations.
Monday on Scarecrow and Mrs. King, a pleasure trip turns to a mission of murder.
What am I going to tell Mother?
Tell her you were tied up. And then...
I just want to have a baby. Fatherless child you've always wanted.
The season premiere of the Emmy-winning Kate and Allie.
Finally, a chance to use my nut cups.
Then, live from Nashville, it's the hottest ticket in country as Kenny Rogers hosts the exciting 18th Annual Country Music Association Awards. Join Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson, Anne Murray, and 30 more of your favorite stars. Y'all don't miss it. Monday.
This is CBS.
Hi, partner. How you doing?
Pretty good.
How about the commissioner? It's fun to have a commissioner come to the game and get involved in. I like that.
Well, you know, a lot of people probably felt that perhaps he should have been in Chicago, where Walter Payton is going to obviously break Jim Brown's record today. But I think it was good that he was here to visit with these guys that have been on the Buffalo team, you know, and were on their all-universe team for 25 years. And I think it was a nice gesture on his part.
Let's talk about the Lackawanna Express a little bit. Jaworski's had a heck of a first half. And he actually told us yesterday, he told Wayne and I yesterday, that he thought he could work on this secondary, particularly because Sizemore and Kinney were back and the offensive line was sort of solid. So we'll go to one of these touchdown passes, and I don't know if I've ever seen him any sharper.
Well, he is pretty sharp. This is the last touchdown pass right here. You see Jaworski, number 7 now. He had Vito Cab wide open.
Now, this was the last touchdown, where he went to.
Right.
Did he go to Woodruff in the back part of that end zone?
In the back part of the end zone was Woodruff. But he is having a good day, and he predicted it. He really did. I've not talked to many players, and we go around every game we do and talk to players beforehand, the day before or 2 days before. I never saw really anyone this year that was as confident as Jaworski was coming into this one.
Well, you know, when you play Dallas, San Francisco, and Washington in a row, and you lose, you must also gain something by saying, hey, we just lost to the 3 best teams maybe in our league anyway, in the NFC. So they've come out of that in pretty good shape, really. With their psyches don't seem to be, completely flattened out.
Well, I know it. You just talk about hungry teams. Both of them are, and I got to give them a lot of credit. We talked earlier in the telecast that they'd be flying around out there trying to get a win, and they both have. It's just been a good, hard-hitting game, and the quality is there in it.
See by these stats, the 82 yards rushing pretty much in the first quarter is about all when Buffalo rushed the ball a little bit and Bell got the touchdown.
Well, I think that you're going to have to see Buffalo come back out now in the second half, Tom, and really try to push the ball on the ground. As I said, Matt Kofler now will probably be their quarterback in the second half since Joe Dufek was hurt, and we won't see Joe Ferguson. There's Kofler right there, number 10. So he will be their quarterback, and I think they're going to have to really establish the run and let him break in a little bit slowly.
Okay, well, let's slip into our pads and get ready for the second half. We'll be back with the second half in just a moment.
What more could we ask of you? To be any more eager to help? Readier to show some affection? Or prove your devotion? Who better deserves to be honored on stamps? If you've never collected stamps before, now you can start with something you love, the new dog stamps.
You, Cleo?
Now at the post office.
The Great American Railroads. They were built to cut coast-to-coast travel from 5 months to 1 week and open up the West. That pioneer spirit made this country grow. Today, I see that same spirit and energy in hundreds of small to mid-sized companies whose new ideas, new jobs, and new technologies will continue to build America. At First Jersey Securities, we specialize in discovering these emerging growth companies for today's investors with vision. First Jersey Securities. Come grow with us.
This Bud's for everyone who scrapes it, sprays it, and lays it on smooth.
This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Honda, makers of the new Civic CRX HF. And by Wang. Wang puts people in front of computers.
You're looking at number 7, Ron Jaworski. He's been booed in Philadelphia, but I remember in 1980, the Maxwell Club, of which I'm a board member, we presented him with the Burt Bell Award. And I'll tell you, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody that shows up in a community more than Ron Jaworski. You know, if he says he'll be at a dinner or for Boy Scouts or whatever it is, he shows up. And there's a lot to be said for people like that, at least in my opinion.
Well, I know, and we talked about earlier in the telecast how tough he's been and how durable, and he's a winner.
McFadden kicking off. And still on his feet at the 27-yard line. That's Wilson that came out with it. Don Wilson, he darn near broke that, you know it? Almost broke the second half kickoff. I thought he was going to get away, and it looks like tempers have flared once again. Walter Payton has broken that record, and we're going to take us, everybody here in the audience, to New York for an update on that in just a moment. I don't think there's any doubt he would break it. What quarter is the big thing. I wonder if the Bears are going to win the football game. That might be more important. 1st and 10, right on the 27-yard line. Hofer, misdirection handoff to Bell. As Wayne Walker said, they're trying to get the running game going. Let's go to New York now for an update with Brent Musburger.
Brookie, here's the run that did it. The second play from scrimmage in the third quarter. Peyton finds daylight and squirms for 5 yards, and Jim Brown's record is no more. And Walter's family overjoyed at the press box. Let's go back to Tom Brookshire.
One record that he will never break, though, is 7 seasons where Big Jim averaged 100 yards per game for 7 straight weeks. That's one that nobody's going to hang up. 2nd down and 6. Inside handoff. Bell hit from behind, but still gets out over the 35. Joel Williams making the tackle. That Bell's a lot stronger looking than it appears. He doesn't look too large to you, but you look at him. He's got broad shoulders and he's sort of short and hard to tackle.
I tell you, he's got to be strong to pack around all that jewelry he was wearing the other day when we talked to him. He looked like Mr. T. He had so much gold on.
At $340 an ounce, he had a lot hanging on his neck. All right. All right, it's 3rd down and short. 3rd, and call it a yard and a half for a 1st down. Matt Kofler is in. Young Dufek, we haven't seen. He has a sprained left knee, but we haven't seen him come back out. Here's Bell getting the 1st down. Almost out to the 40-yard line. Kenny Clark making the tackle there along with Jerry Robinson. This is the one area where Buffalo thought they could do some good running. And so far, the Eagles have sort of shut it down since that 1st quarter.
Bell had a couple of good runs early in the ball game, but in the 2nd quarter, Philadelphia did tighten up and shut it down. Now is what they'll probably do with Kofler to break him in. I wouldn't be surprised to give him a little play-action pass on 1st down. Keep it short and keep it careful, and just to mix things up a little bit for the Philadelphia defense.
It's his game to win. He's like a reliever. He's like the goose coming in out of the bullpen. Here's the fake play-action pass, and it's caught. A jumping catch at the 45 by Byron Franklin. I mean, That was a tough catch.
Well, that was a great catch by number 85. We talked to you about him earlier. A running back in high school, 9.5 speed in college. You're in on the same relay team down at Auburn with Harvey Glantz, and you got to respect that speed. They are. Look at him drive it down, pull it up. He said his main improvement, he's in his third year now. It's just been an effect that he's becoming more of a technician and aware of situations. And he said, the best thing I do now is I have a feel for zones. That was a zone there. He said, I feel where the zones are, and I get in between them, and I sit right down in them. He said, that's what I do best now.
And Herm Edwards had him up on his shoulders, and he still made the catch. Bell off the right side. No dice. Bigfoot Harrison blocking it up. You can't play the 34 defense without having a defensive left end that is a monster. And of course, Bigfoot at 6'9", 285 pounds is certainly that.
Can jam it up right here. Lead block by Booker Moore is through the hole, and then it just closed on it so fast after Harrison came off his block.
That's what he told us about Devlin, the tackle across from him. He said it's one of the best holders he's ever seen. He said his technique is fantastic. A line of scrimmage. What a place it is down there. You'd be surprised the talking that goes back and forth. 75 yards for Bell on 18 carries. Second down and 7. Hofer back to throw his second pass. Good reaction, overthrowing Booker Moore in the flat, and he goes down. He gets hit for the first time in the game. The quarterback. Scores from elsewhere. St. Louis by a point at halftime. That probably will not hold up. Minnesota, Tampa Bay strangling one another, 21-all.
Tampa Bay playing without Hugh Green, who was in a car accident during the week.
28-7, Washington now.
Everybody was giving Washington up for dead when they lost their first 2 games, but they forgot they played Miami and the 49ers.
Pretty good football team. That squad there. Beathard's built quite a program there, he and Joe Gibbs. Here we have a third down and 7 on the 42, and young Koffler's in the shotgun. He's getting a big rush. Oh, there's some holding there, and the flags are down. Bigfoot Harrison was held, and also number 94.
Brian Darby. Boy, he come up through the middle, and they had him ring-necked.
Looked like an Apache stranglehold somebody had on him.
Great penetration that time, though, by the Philadelphia defensive line, in particular Darby up the middle.
So we'll bring on the young punter. Let's wait till McCarter here makes his decision. They're picking up the flags. Obviously.
Holding number 53 on the offense. Penalty declined. 4th down.
Will Grant, the offensive center. Marion Campbell puts another stick of gum in. Works it over. And Kidd, the punter, is in. Quite a punting duel between he and Herland. Cooper's back to take it. And the other punt was a hanging 47-yarder. Ooh, this is a big kick.
It's a rocket.
Cooper fakes the fair catch, and it's going to back down to about the 5-yard line. Good coverage by Buffalo. And that ball had backspin. It looked like a red shot. There's a fight breaking out now at the 7, and a few players are involved.
The EPA figures say you can get 49 miles out of a gallon of gas. If you aren't getting this kind of mileage from your gasoline, maybe you should change your brand of car. We recommend you try the #1 mileage car, the Honda Civic CRX HF. The right car for your gasoline.
Honda.
Huh? Can you help me with these Canon personal copiers?
Oh, yeah, they're terrific. And you know, they copy in 6 colors.
I know.
Well, the entire copying process is in this cartridge. Look, so you can maintain it yourself.
I know.
This one even reduces and enlarges and makes copies up to legal size. I ought to know. I'm Jack.
Oh, I know.
Well, if you know all about Canon PC copies, what do you need me for?
Mm-hmm. Over here.
You should have known. For information, call toll-free.
They've already done the hard part. All we have to do is vote.
Tom Brookshire and Wayne Walker up at Rich Stadium, and the fans had about their only thrill for the last quarter or so when that punt was down on the 5.5-yard line. The Eagles have a long way to go, but Jaworski, he is humming today. 1st and 10. He's back to throw, and it's batted and almost intercepted. There are flags down at the 5-yard line. Talley deflected the ball, but they may have had defensive holding over there.
They may have offsides also on Philadelphia. Someone started early.
Yeah, the Bills are clapping their hands like it's to their advantage. It can only be half the distance if it's against Philadelphia.
Offside, number 82, offense, penalty declined, 2nd down.
Mike Quick broke a little too early. The Bills have done some job in putting the clamps on number 82 today. Huh?
It's like Jaws told us, though. They got 2 people on him all the time. So you kind of expect that. He has to work to catch every ball.
Buffalo declined it, obviously, so it'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Jaws with a 17-10 lead now. Jaworski back. Throwing from the end zone. Oh, almost intercepted. Intended for Kenny Jackson at the 25, but Haslett had the best shot at it.
Not his best throw of the day. I'm not talking about what it had on it. I'm talking about where he put it, because the Buffalo defense was all over this one. Good job up front for him. He has plenty of vision. Smirlis coming in right at the last, but he tried to get it through some people there that was pretty shaky.
So it brings up a 3rd down and 10. And that punt by a young kid that was downed on the 5 may be a pivotal play in this ball game. The Eagles have got to get out of their own territory. They're deep. A handoff to Wilbur Montgomery, who gets a block and is pulled out from behind at the 10-yard line. Good defensive play by Thompson, number 24. Good tackle. Other scores, Denver 21, Detroit 7. The Broncos are a surprising team. They even outfought the Raiders last week. New York Jets 17-9 over Kansas City in the 3rd period. And Cleveland's laying it on New England 16-3. Here's Mike Horan, the young left-footed punter. He's kicking from the end zone. They'll be putting some pressure on. It's Don Wilson back to accept. Fair kick, pretty good hang time. Wilson at the 49-yard line of Philadelphia. Wilson on the dead move inside the 35 to the 33, and the crowd comes to life. We'll be right back. It's heating up.
This is Rhonda, the happy owner of a Honda Civic CRX. Rhonda loves her Honda. It's fun to drive. But the people who love Rhonda's Honda most are her mom and dad, who live in Fonda, 120 miles away. And
to brew the distinctively clean, crisp taste of Budweiser. Quality taste. That's what people want in a cold glass of beer, and this is the one they want. Somebody still cares about quality.